Ooh.
I think this is the best view that you can get.
Yeah, check this out. We are on top of Mestre. You scared?
No, 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 no.
What's in it?
Aperol.
Aperol, which is the red-ish.
Exactly. Orange.
Which I
It's
found out
orange.
the other day.
It's not red.
Yeah, I didn't know it was like.
Yeah, if he
It
thought
had-
it was alcohol free, but
Yeah, I thought it was.
no.
I thought it was alcohol-free. I swear.
No, it's not. And then prosecco,
Yeah.
and then seltz, which is like a bubbly water,
Orange and.
and olive. But you get both the olive and the orange just in the region. Otherwise, they don't give it to you. I don't know why.
Only in Venice.
Only in Venice.
Let's give it a try.
Yup.
So what you gonna do now?
I need to do some shopping.
I'm gonna go back to the Alpha Studio to take care of free boxes. See you later. Whew. Moment of truth. Time to open up the boxes. So let's start from. Let's start from this. Okay. I forgot again the scissors. Where's my box opener? There we go. I still have all the tape from the last boxes we opened. This box has been closed for the past 20 years. And inside we have, boom, Technics turntable. Let's see if I can find a better camera angle to show you this. Let's move it over here. This will do. Okay, so the first edition of this turntables goes back to 1972, and they are still a top industry standard. They mark the transition from turntables as devices to play back recorded media to creative tools to mix music. Box number 2. This is heavy. And let me bring it over here. Easier. Let's open it. This thing works, huh? And we have a second turntable. I remember I bought this back in the 90s in my hometown in Conegliano, Italy. And there's a funny story behind these turntables, because back in the 90s we didn't have the internet, and the only way to sell your equipment was either to post on a local magazine to sell second-hand gear, or to bring them to the closest store and share the revenue with them. Now there is an interesting part in this story. We used to organize a lot of rave parties and underground parties, and the gear and the equipment used during the parties was pretty much the same, and it was crazy expensive, so turntables and mixers were moved from one venue to the other constantly, and sometimes they were breaking. So I remember that when I went to get these turntables, I immediately recognized them, and I realized that I played with them before. In one of the rave parties I played at, I remember that at the end of the night when they were, or in the morning actually, when they were setting the console and the stuff was reordering everything, I've noticed that this part was broken right here. Let me see if I can show you. You see, this was broken. Actually, let me get you a little bit closer. So I remember that one afternoon I received a call from a friend, and he says, "Hey Andre, there's a couple of Technics that just landed at the store." And I go like, "I'm on my way." So I ran to the store, checked them out, we're fine. Of course, there was a little bit of fixing needed. So I told the owner of the store, I'm gonna buy them. And at the time I was young and I was at the beginning of my career, I didn't have much money. So I remember that I played every possible set I could from that day until when they fixed them, they repaired them, and I was able to buy them. And they've been with me ever since. I really love these turntables. Hey, time for box number 3. This is a funny one. I think this in Italian means, crostatine al cacao means like this sweet thing with chocolate, but that's not the content of the box. Inside, we have, are you ready for this? Oh. Wait, I don't want to break it. Boom! This mixer was released I think it was end of 90s, and I loved it because it was one of the first mixers I used with let me show you the back. Send and return channels for external effects. I used to plug into this mixer external pedals used mainly by guitar or bass players, and I used them to mix vinyl records. And that was one of the things that made my set special. Wow. Okay, so it's one thing missing though. Let me check. There's the manual. These are other guides and manuals of other synthesizers that I wasn't able to bring back to the studio yet, but we will. I still need... I think we have a problem. Yeah, I think the power adapter is in another box, hidden somewhere in the archive, and there's no way for me to get back there and find it because it's buried with, you know, the rest of the components that I can't retrieve yet. I'll probably be able to get it when we will remove everything and send it back to Conegliano. So for now, I will find another solution. Stay with me. Okay, I bought this power adapter. It's a universal power adapter and it should work. The only problem is that this mixer has a weird input, and I don't know, well, in the 90s they just built it like that and it's no longer in production, so I can't find the original one. This means that I will have to modify this one and hopefully it's gonna work. Okay, cool. Now it's time to set up this console and, well, test how it sounds after 20 plus years. Okay, so test number one. Power is on. Turntable number one. It works. Yeah. Turntable number two. Boom. It works. And now, the most important part, the mixer. 3, 2, 1. Yeah! Okay, shall we play something? I have a special bag of records that came with me from London. Let's get something up and running. I forgot to connect the output to my speaker. Okay, it should work. Signal is coming in. It's not going out though. Why? Wait a minute. And of course, like if you don't turn on the speakers... Okay, now it should work. Let's try. And it does work. We're gonna do something very special with this console, so stay tuned.